What is up, gamer fam, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. In a video I did more recently, I covered a fan-made port of the legendary Capcom fighter Darkstalkers. Some of you may have seen it. If you haven't, I'm going to leave a link for you in the description. Go check it out if you want. In this video, I'm going to be showing you gameplay from the most recent version of the Genesis port. The fan-made port is still in development, and it is a work in progress, but it has definitely come a long way. I'm excited to share this with you guys, and let me tell you, what's here so far is, well, let's get into it.
Right out of the gate, we're bonky donkin'.
That was my friend Riddick. He has a master's degree in bonky donkery. Okay, but seriously, if you haven't seen his content before, go check it out, give him a sub, and he's a big SEGA guy. Right off the bat, the presentation is fantastic, and the music is awesome, but one of the things that you might notice is that most of the music, in fact, almost all of the music, except for one track, is from Darkstalkers 3. But it actually sounds really fantastic, and I love the way that it turned out. It's very impressive how good the music is on the Genesis and how well it's translated over. The sprites and coloring are absolutely fantastic for this generation of a 16-bit console. One important thing to point out here is that the emulator is running the game at 60 frames per second. If you guys notice a little bit of choppiness, I apologize. That's because of my streaming software. I was having issues with screen recording and then had to use my streaming software to record the game. So the game will look a bit smoother in person. And to give you a bit of a better idea, I did record my 120 Hz monitor at 60 frames per second in 4K so you guys could see what it looked like there, which we'll get to in a second here. Again, the pastel light color schemes are faithfully reflected here in this port, and it is absolutely wild to see this running on a Genesis emulator. I will talk a little bit more about controls throughout the video, but quickly to mention, the game does run and respond very well for the state that it's in right now. Dimitri is definitely one of the most complete characters that's available to play right now with his special moves. In case you didn't notice on the title screen, Anakaris has been cut from the game, which was mentioned in my previous video, but the reason being is that his character sprites are too much to deal with, they're too big, and there's not enough memory on screen. But he has been replaced with Lilith. As you can see, I'm having no problem pulling off special moves and combos, little combos with Dimitri here, and the game is running very smoothly. We're going to go ahead and transition to the recording of my monitor screen so you guys can see how it looks on there. I don't have the full screen in the shot. I wanted you guys to see the sprites and get a close-up look at how they were moving. It's also really impressive that he's able to fit in the background animations that he was for Dimitri's stage, which shows you what he's going to be capable of doing over time with the other stages and characters as well. The next character that has had the most work done and is closer to being complete is Victor. As you can see, Victor's special moves are intact, and one of the most impressive things about this port is how many frames of animation it's been able to retain per character. The developer also mentioned that if you compare Victor's animations to the PlayStation version, that Victor's animations in the Genesis port are more complete. I thought that this was very interesting, and it's not that I didn't believe him, but I wanted to see for myself. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty impressive. It looks like the animations are a little bit more complete on the Genesis version, especially when the character is idle. So far, Victor, Dimitri, and Morgan are the most complete characters, although Morgan still has a little bit of work to go. When I asked the developer who he was planning on working on next, moving forward, he said after finishing Morgan that he might be possibly moving on to Felicia and Lord next. So let's circle back to the sound for a minute. The music is surprisingly crisp and bassy. Now, for those of you who aren't exactly happy with the fact that you're losing some of the original Darkstalkers soundtrack, you have to consider this. It's done by an independent developer pretty much on his own, and he's sourcing music from other creators. Because music isn't his cup of tea, coding is.
The code.
Guys, if you're watching this video and you're enjoying it, please leave a like, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Make sure to check out some of my other content if you're new to the channel, and thank you because it helps the channel out.
The rearranged soundtrack features contributions from multiple composers, including Engelbart Music, PD CGT, also known as Pete Davis, and Vector Orbitex. You might notice several tracks from Darkstalkers 3, as we talked about before. That's because Pete Davis originally translated them for his YouTube channel, and they were later incorporated into the game. However, Felicia's stage, done by Vector Orbitex, is currently the only track from the original Darkstalkers game, with more on the way. Here you guys are just seeing all the backgrounds. I wanted to do a quick run through so you guys could get the full scale of how all the levels look as of right now. As mentioned before, this is a work in progress, so presumably there's going to be more background animations in the game as time goes on, but I think the primary focus right now is characters and timing and making sure that everything works correctly. Still a lot of work to be done on hitboxes as well, but that's to be expected. Even without all the levels having background animations yet, I think they look great. I mean, we're talking about the SEGA Genesis here. Which brings me to my next point. When I asked Daniel why he didn't choose another platform to go with, the one thing is that the game is being developed using SGDK, which doesn't support Sega CD or 32X. But that's intentional. The goal here, he said, is to see just how far the Genesis hardware can be pushed. And honestly, given the fluidity of the animations and the overall quality, I say they're pushing it pretty far. Overall, Mega Darkstalkers is shaping up to be an incredible fan port. It's already super fun to play, and with more polish, it could become a true masterpiece on the Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive. If you're a Darkstalkers fan and you love retro gaming, this is definitely something to keep an eye on. And from all of the information that I have right now, in case you're wondering, it has not been tested on real hardware yet. But nonetheless, Daniel did assure me that they were going to make sure it was 100% compatible with real hardware.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you want to support the project, remember to go check out Daniel's channel and subscribe to him. And remember that I've got all the links down in the description, so go check them out. Please let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, and until next time, I'll see you guys then.